There's an all-star to this episode, and it is The Wandering Trader. No, really, I'll explain as I go. Hello, I am Spacer J. If you're new here, welcome to my tale of the ultimate Minecraft survival challenge. If you've hung around to this point, welcome back. I proved that this type of world is survivable in my last video, but now I'm going to prove that this type of world is thrivable. To kick off this next 100 days, I set about to cure my first villagers. The first villager was a farmer to resolve the apple shortage, and was given his first temporary house. Work on the second house then immediately commenced. But before I even finished the second house, I ran into another wandering trader. As mentioned in the first video, they will spawn out even in a deep ocean biome. You just need a decent-sized dry platform for them. This one happened to sell wheat seeds and sand. I bought him out of his sand. Didn't quite feel the need to buy him out of his wheat seeds, however. Despite his useful goods, he unfortunately met with a bit of an accident, but I did manage to salvage his llamas and tame them. Another land animal ready to repopulate this sea world. The second house got finished and the second villager was cured and moved to the safety of his new home. To resolve the book shortage, he was made into a librarian. A specific enchanted book was less important in that moment than getting bookshelves, so I didn't bother much with trying to shuffle his deals around until finally locking the preferred deal into place. More wandering traders arrived, and these offered very valuable goods. More sand, but most importantly, birch saplings. And the later one offered acacia saplings. Trees. Wood was now a readily renewable resource, rather than a sparse and limited one found in the odd shipwreck or spider mine. Much safer to cut down trees as well, don't have to worry about drowning or being bushwhacked by any hostile mob. Also learned that sometimes traders spawn in odd places, like on this roof. Perhaps that's his way of saying he's got high prices. The saplings I bought were an immediate boost to progress. Farming more saplings for more trees became a goal, and any wood supply I harvested was promptly put to work in building new villager homes. Like this new permanent home for the farmer, complete with a garden ready for him to work. As time progressed and I expanded the landmass, I added more villagers. An armorer, a mason, a weaponsmith, a cleric, and another librarian. Sometimes I had some funny occurrences in the curing process, like this Enderman deciding he wanted to go along with the ride. Naturally, I declined. Apples are now plentiful. Gold was less abundant, but I had enough for my immediate purposes. As the number of villagers went up, cats started appearing in the city as well. That's 3 land animals, but unless I tame them, they seem to appear and disappear of their own accord. I leveled up the weaponsmith, eventually to the point where he was selling diamond weapons. With the weaponsmith maxed out, plus a maxed out enchanting area courtesy of the librarian's bookshelves, I began to improve my gear. I finally got a looting 3 sword, which will prove invaluable in acquiring more sugar from witches that spawn in the XP tower. More sugar is required to further expand the villager count. I tried to go find a stronghold and conquer the inns, but the Eyes of Ender didn't work for me. Upon a bit of digging for information, it would seem I left generated structures off when creating the world, which means no end for me. No slaying the Ender Dragon, no end rods, no elytra, no purple blocks, no end stone. But I'll persevere anyway. Now these are all things I would like to have. Purple and end stone would certainly diversify the block palette of my emerging city, and end rods have many aesthetic uses. But they're not essential. So if one source of abundant resources is no longer available to me, I figured that I should create an abundant resource of something else. Prismarine. The world is full of ocean temples, and an infinite accessible supply of prismarine would be just the thing to complement the theme of building an ocean city. By the end of this stretch, I had raided the closest water temple, did some additional hunting of guardians on the side, and was working out the structure to a guardian farm. As you can see here, it is in progress but not yet completed. All told, the next 100 days were fruitful. By day 200, I had gone from 0 to 7 villagers. Not a huge amount, but it's an infinite improvement over 0. Wandering traders have now proven to be surprisingly useful. On a regular world with no restrictions, they're not too useful. On a world where certain resources are otherwise impossible to get, they are highly valuable. MVP level even. Trees I got from them will be a big help on easing wood resource burdens, will foster the creation of green spots, and will diversify the overall aesthetics. And sometimes, like here, they can create their own great aesthetic. 2 acacia trees perfectly intertwining. I can't bring myself to cut those down for resources. The foundation has been set, and from here we have the means to build an ocean city.